Hello, Liam. So it's the 30th of August, 2015, and tonight I'm going to be reading you Genesis 3. However, I also want to share a couple things. I want to change things up in these videos for you. So I made this little list of things I want to share for you. So for each book of the Bible, I'm going to tell you why it's named, what it is named, and then I'm going to tell you who the author was or supposedly was, um, maybe a fact about it, and then a couple of things that just happened during this date in history. So, for starters, Genesis means origin, creation, or beginning. So that's where they pull that word from. And then, so Moses was actually the author of the Torah. So we'll get to Moses later, starting in Exodus chapter 2. Fact is that Genesis is the most quoted book in the Bible. They bring it up numerous amount of times. And then, so some history for you on August 30th throughout the years. 1836, the city of Houston is founded by Augustus Chapman Allen and John Kirby Allen. In 1967, Thurgood Marshall is confirmed as the first African American justice of the Supreme Court in the United States. 2003, while being towed across the Barents Sea, the decommissioned Russian submarine K-159 sinks, taking 9 of her crew and 800 kilograms of spent nuclear fuel with her. 1926, Daryl Gates, American police officer, created the DARE program, which you will learn about when you get to 5th grade. And then, let's give you some dad history with the app TimeHop, which I'm sure you'll know all about by the age of like 5 or 6. 3 years ago, Sweet Home Chicago, so that would have been my first time taking leave in the Navy, so that was pretty exciting. John Mayer Pandora radio station works wonders for Tuesday afternoon 4 years ago. Yeah, that was senior year of high school, so yeah, for sure. Why not? 5 years ago, thank you U46 for letting us read one of the coolest stories ever available during our senior year. I hope you get to read that sometime. It's actually an interesting book. Weird CGI movie with Angelina Jolie. Don't even watch it, but whatever. Church was great. Got to dance and eat great food. Later, homework, dishes, and maybe possibly youth group. We'll see. But today is a fun day. Smiley face. 6 years ago, so I was 16. Wow, way to go, Benjamin. But also when I was 16, here we go. You've got a lot of nerve, and I've got a lot of fingers to point. While you were busy building knowledge, I was already right. I know a voice like yours is not a weapon at all. Even mine is not a chisel for a thickened skull. Chant your anthems to the deaf, and we can sit here and cry until there's nothing left. Or we can take our voices with our hands, make like knives, and make demands. It's from Demon Hunters Not Ready to Die. Awesome. And Time Hop gives a fact too of it, something that happened this day years ago, but their facts are typically stupid actually. So, without further ado, I'm gonna get into. Oh, hold on. Don't know if you noticed, but I have a Gandalf bookmark. Yeah, Gandalf. They didn't have Gimli. These were for The Hobbit, not Lord of the Rings. Holy cow! I need to teach you about Lord of the Rings one day. I'm gonna read you those. All right. So Genesis chapter 3, the fall of man. Right off the bat, you're just like, Dad, I don't want to hear this. This sounds horrible. Everything has been awesome up to this date. Like, obviously, they mentioned a couple bad things like that tree, but Adam knows not to go to it, and God said that, right? That's funny, because, we're told things all the time, not to do it, and we can be given so many sources of things to do, enjoy. You can go to these places, and sometimes there's a catch. Don't go to that one place. Oh, don't eat that. If you have work in the morning, then don't stay out late. But typically, people make bad decisions. So without further ado, here we go. Now the serpent was more crafty than any of the wild animals the Lord God had made. He said to the woman, "Did God really say, You must not eat from any tree in the garden. The woman said to the serpent, We may not eat fruit from the trees in the garden, but God did say, You must not eat fruit from that tree that is in the middle of the garden. You must not touch it, or you will die. You will not surely die, the serpent said to the woman. That's the opposite of what he said. For God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. That just sounds too good to be true. That's typically how bad things look. Too good to be true. So, when the woman saw that the fruit of the tree was good for food and pleasing to the eye, and also desirable for gaining wisdom, she took some and ate it. She also gave some to her husband, who was with her, and he ate it. I just want you to notice that the woman was the first one who ate the fruit, that the serpent decided to talk to her and not the man. I don't know why. There must be a reason to that. I'm sure I'm thinking a reason, but I'm sure I'm not going to say it. Where I love your mom. Okay. Then the eyes of both of them were opened, and they realized they were naked. So they sewed fig leaves together and made coverings for themselves. Then the man and his wife heard the sound of the Lord God as he was walking in the garden in the cool of the day, and they hid from the Lord God among the trees of the garden. But the Lord God called to the man, Where are you? He answered, I heard you in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid. And he said, Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from? The man said, The woman you put here with me, she gave me some fruit from the tree, and I ate it. Funny, because I didn't know where there were buses back in Genesis. Then the Lord God said to the woman, What is this you have done? The woman said, The serpent deceived me, and I ate. So the Lord God said to the serpent, Because you have done this, cursed are you above all the livestock and all the wild animals. You will crawl on your belly, and you will eat dust all the days of your life. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. He will crush your head, and you will strike his heel. To the woman he said, I will greatly increase your pains in childbearing. That's rough. With pain you will give birth to children. Your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you. Saw a little part right there. To Adam he said, Because you listened to your wife. Shouldn't have done that, Adam. And ate from the tree about which I commanded you. You must not eat of it. Cursed is the ground because of you. Through painful toil you will eat of it all of your days of your life. It will produce thorns and thistles for you, and you will eat the plants of the field. By the sweat of your brow you will eat your food until the return to the ground, since from it you were taken. For dust you are, and to dust you will return. Yeah. Adam named his wife Eve because she would become the mother of all living things. The Lord God made garments of skin for Adam and his wife, clothed them. The Lord God said, The man has now become like one of us, knowing good and evil. He must not be allowed to reach out his hand and take also from the tree of life and eat, and live forever. So the Lord God banished him from the Garden of Eden, to work the ground from which he had been taken. After he drove the man out, he placed on the east side of the Garden of Eden cherubim and a flaming sword flashing back and forth to guard the way to the tree of life. The cherub, little baby angel, that's hardcore, and basically the little baby thing that they do like for Valentine's Day. Cherub Rock is also a cool song by the Smashing Pumpkins. Came out in 1993. So that sums up Genesis 3. So as you can see, Adam and Eve Adam and woman were living a good life, and then Satan is actually that serpent, and he deceived Eve, but she didn't have to listen to him. So she listened to him, and she disobeyed God, and in doing so, when she led her husband into also disobeying God, they felt shame for being naked, which is obviously something that was already put out, that they felt no shame. for being naked. So now they feel shame. They start trying to hide from God, but that didn't really work. And so God saw through what they were saying, and then He said, "Well, tried to give you guys a good deal. You guys blew it. So now you're just like all humankind is gonna sin." And that part about the women childbearing, labor is gonna be more painful, or well, painful. It wasn't supposed to be painful. It was supposed to be just a beautiful thing, but because of this, it's now a painful process, which I'm sure any woman you talk to that has a child can attest to. So that is the fall of man, though. They brought sin into this world because Satan tested us and we failed. Later in the Bible, Satan will test Jesus, and we'll see how Jesus does. He also tests many other figures in the Bible, but obviously the first two people didn't know any better. So just take some lessons from this. Just because someone's telling you to do something, they might be twisting words of what your parents said, or they might be tricking you or something. If you in your gut feel, if you, your conscience or your gut is telling you that you were told otherwise, and that maybe this is wrong, then it's wrong. Then just don't do it. So that will save you from so many hardships, from so many painful hours of doing extra tedious tasks that are unnecessary. People of all ages do this stuff. This is sin. So as soon as you're born into sin. That's the earth we live in now. So that's ridiculous. So, but anyways, so now I'm done teaching you things. I just want to tell you that I love you, I miss you, and Mom threw a party for you today at her parents' house. So, or your grandparents' house, I should say. And I just want to say I wish I could have been there. I wish I could have seen you. Have fun with everyone. And thought of you while I went to church today. Thought of you while I went to the gym. Thought of you while I went on a run. And then when I ate at the galley tonight for dinner, I saw a man and his wife, and they had a little baby, and I definitely thought of you. And so I miss you very much, buddy. Love you so much. Definitely work with your mom. Try to be the best baby that you can be for her. It's not easy right now, so just work with your mom, right, buddy? I love you. Take care, buddy. Bye-bye.